Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm the teacher on the B2 level course. Welcome to lesson 49. This is a vocabulary lesson and our topic in this session is going to be collective nouns. So my name's Stephanie, this is the B2 or upper intermediate course and we are on lesson 49. As always in my sessions, there will be lots of opportunity to practice what we cover, and at the end of the session there will be a small test that you can take as well to further reinforce what we've covered today. So let's have a look at the main themes that we're going to talk about. Okay, so in lesson 49 you will consider collective nouns and plural nouns, review subject-verb agreement, and build a range of collective nouns. So as I've said in previous lessons, at this kind of level, one of the most important things to do is to expand your vocabulary. And that's one of the things that this lesson is aiming to do. Firstly, we need to understand, what do I mean when I talk about a collective noun? Well, a collective noun is a noun used to describe a group of objects, things, and people. Let's take people. Can you think of any ways to describe groups of people? So what I'm asking you to think of is synonyms for the word group. Have a think and then I will share with you my ideas. Okay. Here are just some of the options you could have come up with. A gang of thieves, a team of footballers, a band of musicians, a crew of sailors, a group of friends, a squad of police officers, a crowd of tourists, an army of soldiers. Did you have any of these? Well done if you did, and also well done if you've come up with something different. As I said, these are just a few ideas. Now, the point here is that all of these words, realistically, they all mean a group of thieves, a group of musicians, but by using a more descriptive word, such as a gang, or a band, or a crowd, you add extra information. For example, a gang is often used in a negative way. A noun like crew, for example, is often used to describe a professional group of people. So rather than just saying group, these are different ways of describing groups that give the listener more information. Okay, in the next slide, we're going to practice using some of these collective nouns to describe people. So I'm going to show you 5 sentences and I'm going to ask you to think of the collective noun that could complete the gap. Okay, so complete the sentences using a suitable collective noun from the previous slide. Number 1, an angry of protesters confronted the police. Number 2, of vandals broke into the museum and destroyed priceless art. Number 3, the restaurant had a booking for a large of people. Number 4, of artists collaborated on the project. And number 5, the customers were entertained by of guitar players. Now remember, there might be different options, but the idea here is that you try to use a different noun in each sentence. So not just group. Try to think of a different noun and refer back to the previous slide if you need to. So pause the slide now and see if you can give me 5 different collective nouns. Okay, how did you do? Well, let's have a look at my answers and see if they are the same. So number 1, an angry crowd of protesters confronted the police. Number 2, a gang of vandals broke into the museum. Number 3, the restaurant had a booking for a large group of people. It's more generic here. People, very general, so I use group. A team of artists collaborated. The idea of people working together suggests a team. And number 5, the customers were entertained by a band of guitar players. Often, if we're talking about music, we would use the word band. Okay, are these the same as you? Well done if you managed to get those correct. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to show you 3 images in the next slide, and I'm asking you what connects these items. So think about what you can see in each picture. Think about the topic of the lesson, and can you tell me what collective noun connects these 3 items? What do you think? So have a look at the pictures. What's the collective noun that connects these items? So let me give you a clue. I've gapped the noun that I'm looking for. So a of cards, a of cigarettes, and a of wolves. Any ideas? Hopefully lots of you are shouting at your phones, your laptops with the correct answer. So let me tell you what it is. Hopefully you have all said a pack of. So if we go back, we can have a pack of cards, a pack of cigarettes, and a pack of wolves. So it doesn't have to be an inanimate object such as cards. It can also be something living, a pack of wolves, a pack of dogs, for example. So the Cambridge English Dictionary defines pack as a group, set, or collection of something, or a group of animals such as dogs that live and hunt together. So bearing this in mind, thinking about this definition, can you think of any other expressions using a pack of? So we had a pack of cards, a pack of cigarettes, a pack of wolves. Can you think of any more examples? Well, a pack of wild dogs, a pack of gum, a pack of lies, a pack of thieves. These are some very common collocations with the collective noun pack. Hopefully you thought of some of those. Okay, let's try another slide again, 3 images. And again, I'm asking you, what's the collective noun that connects these pictures? So what can you see? And what connects these items? I'll give you a clue. Of keys, of grapes, of flowers. Any ideas? Again, I hope lots of you are calling out the correct answer. Of course, I can't hear you, so I'm being positive and hoping that you're all telling me that the correct answer is a bunch of. A bunch of keys, a bunch of grapes, a bunch of flowers. So perhaps this one was a little trickier than pack, but really well done if you were saying bunch, because that's the correct answer. So Cambridge English Dictionary defines bunch as a number of things of the same type fastened together or in a close group. So for example, if you think of grapes, a bunch of grapes, all the grapes are the same and they're together. The same with the flowers, the same with the keys. It's the same item connected together. So bearing this in mind, can you think of any other expressions using a bunch of? So pause for a moment. Can you think of any other expressions? Okay, let me tell you my answers. A bunch of bananas, a bunch of balloons, a bunch of carrots, a bunch of herbs. There are lots of different examples that you could have given me here, as long as the idea is that the same things, lots of the same items bunched together. Okay, let's try some discussion questions then connected to these expressions. Number 1. When was the last time you gave someone a bunch of flowers? What was the occasion? Number 2. Have you ever seen a pack of wolves? Number 3. Are you a smoker? How many cigarettes are in a pack nowadays? Has the number reduced? Number 4. Do you give bunches of balloons for birthdays in your country? So you can see the image there. Is this something that's typical in your country to give somebody, perhaps a child, or somebody celebrating a special birthday, a bunch of balloons? Number 5. Do you buy bananas in a bunch, or do you prefer to buy them individually? And number 6. How many cards in a pack? So the idea here is that you can see the expressions being used. You can see them in context. And this is such an important thing when we meet new expressions, that we study them in context so that we can see how they are used. And all good dictionaries that you refer to should give you a word or an expression in an example sentence. Okay, let's move on now to some plural nouns. I'm going to show you 2 sentences, and my question to you is, which sentence is correct? Number 1. The police is investigating the crime. Number 2. The police are investigating the crime. This is quite an important topic here. It's quite easy to make a mistake. So what I'd like you to do, pause the slide, say the sentences out loud and tell me which one sounds correct to you, which one sounds more natural. I'll repeat it again. The police is investigating the crime, or the police are investigating the crime. What do you think? Hopefully all of you are saying number 2, the police are investigating the crime. True, police doesn't have the plural S on the end, but it is considered a plural noun. Certain collective nouns, such as police, only exist in this plural sense. So we think of them, okay, it looks like a singular noun, but it's in fact a plural noun because it's a group. The police consists of many people. Can you think of any other examples of nouns that work in the same way? This is quite challenging, this. So maybe pause the slide, have a think of any other nouns that work in the same way as police. Could you think of any? Well, let me share some ideas with you, some of my examples. People, children, and cattle. These are collective nouns that only exist in the plural. So we always say people are, not people is. Children are, not children is. Cattle are, not cattle is. It's always in the plural. Well done if you managed to get some of those. Let's look at another example. Again, which sentence is correct? My family is from Scotland. My family are from Scotland. Again, tricky, but what do you think? Which one is correct? My family is from Scotland. My family are from Scotland. Pause the slide and see if you can tell me the answer. Well, the answer is both of them. Here, both are correct. Let's have a look. Some collective nouns can be followed by either a plural or a singular verb. My family is, my family are. Doesn't make any difference. Can you think of any other examples of collective nouns that can be followed by either a plural or a singular verb? So other nouns that work the same way as family. Again, it's quite challenging, so pause the slide and have a think. Okay, here are my examples. Team, audience, and government. These can be followed by either plural or singular verbs, and it doesn't make a difference. So that's good news for you because it's much easier to get it right. The first slide is much more challenging because you have to remember that nouns like police are always plural. Yes. So I think it's time we practiced. I'm going to show you 6 sentences, and what I want you to do is to choose the correct option. So, number 1, the audience was or were entertained by the performance. Number 2, the children is or are doing their homework. Number 3, the government has or have promised to impose stricter penalties. Number 4, the cattle was or were eating grass. Number 5, people is or people are being asked to recycle their rubbish. And number 6, the marketing team has or have launched a highly successful campaign. So pause the slide and choose the correct option. But remember, sometimes both might be correct. Good luck. Okay, how did you find that? Well, I think it's time to check our answers together. So, number 1, audience can take either singular or plural. So the audience was entertained or the audience were entertained. But number 2, children are always plural. Number 3, the government can take either has or have. But number 4, cattle always takes the plural. The cattle were eating grass. The same with number 5. People are being asked to recycle their rubbish. Must be a plural verb. And number 6, team, you can take either. The marketing team has or the marketing team have launched a highly successful campaign. Did you get those correct? Really well done if you did. If you didn't, go back and review the rules, and if you did and if you didn't, I suggest you try the mini test at the end of this session. So that's the end of lesson 49. Thank you for watching. Lesson 50 will be a review, so we'll be looking back at the previous lessons and providing more practice for you. So it will be with me, Stephanie, again, and I really hope you will join me. Thank you for watching.